The number of wires permissible on a circuit breaker is governed by several factors, most importantly the circuit breaker's amperage rating and the gauge of the wires being used. These limitations are in place to ensure electrical safety and prevent overloads or potential fire hazards. A 15-amp circuit breaker is generally designed to accommodate a specific number of wires, keeping in mind the standard wire gauges used in residential wiring. For instance, a 15-amp breaker may safely handle up to two 14-gauge wires. The gauge refers to the physical size of the wire. 14-gauge wire is commonly used for 15-amp circuits because its current carrying capacity is appropriately matched to the breaker's rating. Alternatively, a 15-amp breaker could potentially handle three 12-gauge wires, but this configuration requires careful consideration of the overall load in the circuit. Moving up to a 20-amp circuit breaker, the wire gauge requirements change. A 20-amp breaker is typically paired with 12-gauge wire, which has a higher current carrying capacity than 14-gauge wire. A 20-amp breaker can often accommodate two 12-gauge wires. You might consider using three 10-gauge wires, but again, this depends on the manufacturer's specifications for the specific breaker. It is crucial to consult the manufacturer's instructions for the circuit breaker you are using. These instructions provide definitive guidance on the maximum number of wires that can be safely connected to the breaker. Ignoring these instructions can lead to dangerous situations, including overheating, trip breakers, and even electrical fires. The National Electrical Code, often abbreviated as NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for safe electrical installations. While the NEC doesn't explicitly state the number of wires allowed on the breaker terminal, it does provide tables and information on wire ampacity, which is the maximum current a conductor can carry continuously under specific conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. These tables are found in NEC section 310.15 and subsequent tables. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC for the most up-to-date information. When dealing with electrical wiring, safety is paramount. Always to energize the circuit breaker before working on any electrical connections. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to consult a qualified electrician. Incorrect wiring can have serious consequences, including electrical shock and fire. Understanding the relationship between wire gauge, amperage, and circuit breaker capacity is essential for safe electrical work. Overloading a circuit breaker by connecting too many wires or wires that are too small for the amperage can cause the breaker to trip frequently. This is a sign that the circuit is being overstressed and needs to be addressed. In some cases, repeated overloads can damage the circuit breaker, rendering it ineffective. When connecting wires to a circuit breaker, ensure that the connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can create resistance, which generates heat and can lead to fire hazards. Use a torque screwdriver to tighten the screws to the manufacturer's specified torque value. This ensures a consistent and reliable connection. Always use the correct type of wire connectors for the application. Wire connectors are designed to provide a secure and insulated connection between wires. Avoid using substandard or damaged connectors, as these can compromise the safety of the electrical system. When working with multiple wires on a single circuit breaker, it is important to maintain proper wire management. Keep the wires neatly organized and avoid creating unnecessary stress or strain on the connections. Use cable ties or other organizing devices to keep the wires bundled together and prevent them from interfering with other components. Before energizing a circuit, always double-check all connections to ensure that they are secure and properly insulated. Use a multimeter to verify that the voltage is correct and that there are no shorts or ground faults. If you find any problems, correct them before energizing the circuit. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous if not performed correctly. Always take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical wiring, consult a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with the applicable electrical codes. Many circuit breakers are designed to accept only one wire per terminal. Attempting to connect multiple wires to a single terminal that is not designed for it can result in a loose connection, overheating, and a potential fire hazard. If you need to connect multiple wires to a single circuit breaker, you may need to use a wire connector or a pigtail. A wire connector allows you to join multiple wires together into a single connection that can then be connected to the circuit breaker. A pigtail involves creating a short length of wire that is connected to the circuit breaker, with the other end connected to the other wires using a wire connector. Always use wire connectors that are rated for the size and number of wires being connected. Some wire connectors are designed for use with solid wire, while others are designed for use with stranded wire. Using the wrong type of wire connector can result in a loose or unreliable connection. When connecting wires to a circuit breaker, make sure to strip the insulation back to the appropriate length. Too much exposed wire can create a risk of shorts, while too little exposed wire can result in a poor connection. Use a wire stripper to remove the insulation cleanly and without damaging the conductor. Some circuit breakers have terminals that are designed to accept only solid wire, while others can accept both solid and stranded wire. Check the manufacturer's instructions to determine the type of wire that is compatible with the circuit breaker. When using stranded wire, it is important to twist the strands tightly together before inserting them into the terminal. This will prevent the strands from fraying and creating a loose connection. In addition to the number of wires allowed on a circuit breaker, it is also important to consider the overall load on the circuit. The load is the total amount of electrical power that is being drawn by all of the devices and appliances connected to the circuit. If the load exceeds the capacity of the circuit breaker, the breaker will trip. To determine the load on a circuit, add up the wattage of all of the devices and appliances that are connected to the circuit. Divide the total wattage by the voltage of the circuit to determine the current in amps. The current should not exceed the amperage rating of the circuit breaker. It's also important to consider the derating factors that may apply to the circuit. Derating factors are used to reduce the ampacity of a wire or circuit breaker when it is used in certain conditions, such as high ambient temperatures or when multiple conductors are bundled together. Derating factors are specified in the NEC and should be taken into account when calculating the load on a circuit. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for the circuit breaker and the wire. These instructions will provide specific guidance in the number of wires that can be connected to the circuit breaker, the type of wire that can be used, and any other relevant information. Ignoring these instructions can lead to dangerous situations and may void the warranty on the equipment. When working with electrical wiring, it is always best to err on the side of caution. If you are unsure about any aspect of the work, consult a qualified electrician. They can help you to ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with the applicable electrical codes. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. Using the wrong size wire for a circuit breaker can be extremely dangerous. If the wire is too small for the amperage of the breaker, it can overheat and cause a fire. Conversely, using wire that is too large is generally safe but can be more difficult to work with and may not fit properly in the breaker terminal. Always use the correct size wire as specified by the NEC and the manufacturer's instructions. Different types of circuit breakers have different terminal designs. Some have screw terminals, while others have clamp terminals or stab-in terminals. The type of terminal will affect how the wires are connected to the breaker. Screw terminals require the wire to be wrapped around the screw and tightened. Clamp terminals use a spring-loaded clamp to hold the wire in place. Stab-in terminals allow the wire to be inserted directly into the terminal without the need for screws or clamps. Always use the correct method for connecting wires to the type of terminal on the circuit breaker. Before working on any electrical wiring, it is important to identify the circuit breaker that controls the circuit. This can be done by turning off the circuit breaker and then testing the circuit with a non-contact voltage tester to make sure that it is de-energized. Never assume that a circuit is de-energized just because the circuit breaker is turned off. Always test the circuit to be sure. When replacing a circuit breaker, it is important to use a breaker that is the same type and amperage rating as the original breaker. Using a breaker with a higher amperage rating can overload the circuit and cause a fire. Using a breaker with a lower amperage rating can cause the breaker to trip frequently. Always consult the manufacturer's instructions or a qualified electrician to determine the correct type and amperage rating of circuit breaker for the application. In addition to the circuit breaker itself, it is also important to consider the panel board that houses the circuit breakers. A panel board must be properly sized for the number of circuits that it will serve. The panel board must also be properly grounded to protect against electrical shock. Always consult the NEC and the manufacturer's instructions for guidance on selecting and installing panel boards. Electrical wiring can be a complex and potentially dangerous task. It is important to have a thorough understanding of electrical safety principles and practices before attempting any electrical work. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to consult a qualified electrician. They can help you to ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with the applicable electrical codes. Regular inspections of electrical systems can help to identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. Look for signs of damaged wiring, loose connections, and overloaded circuits. If you find any problems, have them repaired by a qualified electrician as soon as possible. By following these safety tips, you can help to protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. Always be aware of the potential dangers of electricity and take the necessary precautions to prevent accidents. If you have any questions or concerns about electrical safety, consult a qualified electrician. They can provide you with the information and guidance you need to stay safe around electricity. Remember, when in doubt, always consult a professional. Electricity is not something to be taken lightly, and the safety of yourself and your property depends on proper installation and maintenance. Electrical codes are constantly evolving to reflect new technologies and safety practices. Staying informed about the latest code requirements is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical systems. Local building departments and electrical inspectors can provide information on the current electrical codes in your area. Consider attending training courses or workshops on electrical safety and wiring practices. These courses can provide valuable hands-on experience and help you to develop the skills you need to work safely with electricity. There are many resources available to help you learn more about electrical safety and wiring practices. The NEC, electrical safety organizations, and online forums can provide valuable information and guidance. Take advantage of these resources to expand your knowledge and improve your skills.